Welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting together side by side for financial freedom. We're going to be taking a look at 4 different altcoins in today's video. We're going to be taking a look at SUPRA. We will take a look at QUBIC, VELO, and finally we will touch a bit on the Quant price sections. I have got some amazing charts and data that I want to show you across these altcoins. So if that sounds interesting, I want to kindly ask you to help me spread the video just by delicately tapping the like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm in understanding that this information is very much relevant. If you're also new to the channel and you want to see more of these updates on a regular basis, subscribe and let me know that you want to see more of this stuff. Let's go ahead and start with VELO. We can see that right at this point we have just been working this resistance. I think the resistance has been broken. We have had somewhat of a minor backtest of that whole thing, and I'm anticipating something like a 1920x that can show up here from VELO. If you have been following me on X, you have seen me compare the VELO price section to what XCN, which is Onyx coin, has been doing. Really, I've been bullish on both of them. I was actually anticipating that VELO would move before Onyx, but you can see that they still have got the same structure. What is missing here for the VELO price, that is this kind of price section here. So I'm still very much bullish long term, but if I take a step back and just come to immediate short-term price section here on VELO, I can see that we have got this symmetrical triangle, which usually is a continuation pattern. In this situation, the continuation will likely be towards the upside because that's what we have been doing through and through. That's really great, and it actually appears that we are now back testing the breakout level of that symmetrical triangle. So I mean, technically speaking, you would be looking for a breakout level of something like the thickest part of the symmetrical triangle. That would mean something like a 245% pump here for VELO, pumping the price to right around 7 cents basically. At this point in the market, we've got a lot of volatility. We have seen news like the DeepSeek project really just crushing Nvidia, and by doing so, the rest of the markets. On top of that, we've got the Fed meeting. They are going to be talking about the interest rates, and we have seen that in weeks where we have this meeting on the decision of interest rate. It's really much volatile. So I really don't know for sure, but up until this point, I think that we are seeing some kind of a demand candle that is happening, and on top of that, we can understand that this is a support level. So not totally sure if the movement towards the downside is done yet, but overall speaking, I think long term I'm very much bullish on this. So symmetrical triangle says 245% in terms of a pump, and the structure that we compare VELO to XCN is indicating a very positive picture. Let's move on to SUPRA, another new project that I'm very much bullish on. Number one, because in a bull cycle like we are in at this point, new projects usually are more appealing to people, and yeah, this project has been crashing maybe for like 70% at this point, but really this is nothing in the context and what you can get. It's really a nice project fundamentally speaking, and I've seen people compare it to things like Chainlink because of its Oracle protocols, and some people are even comparing it to things like Solana. I think that is going to take a little bit of time to grow all the way up there, but if you are talking about potential, this project is one that has got everything. It also happens to fall under the category of made in the US. Now this is relatively a new narrative. I don't know how big it's going to get, but if it actually becomes official that if you happen to hold like made in USA cryptocurrencies, you don't pay any capital gains tax, just be sure that SUPRA will benefit from that bigly as well. It's relatively a smaller market cap right at this point, about $122 million. So if you compare with related projects here, I think the biggest one is maybe something like Chainlink, which is sitting at a $15 billion in terms of market valuation. That's a lot. If you compare with other projects like Sui here, for example, yeah, we are talking about great things. Again, it takes time, but let's not go as far as Sui is and stuff like that. We can go for something like Tezos, which is not doing too good at this point, $1.1 billion in terms of its market valuation. You get something like a 9-10x thereabout, which I'm calling actually the worst case scenario. So in any case, I think if your worst case scenario is right around a 10x, that is something that is worth holding in my opinion. But should I take a look at the immediate short-term price section here? We have been trading in this channel, trending towards the downside, but I know that at some point this channel here breaks towards the upside, and eventually you push towards the upside, having those price targets that I was talking about and saying that in the worst case scenario I'll be anticipating something like a 10x. But really, one of the things that we look at when you're trading in a channel like this is to see the behavior of the RSI, because you want to see some bullish divergences happening there once you have something like a bullish divergence, you understand that the price is ready to shift towards the upside. So at this point, we have already had something like that, because you can see here that, yeah, there's lows actually on the same level, but at the same time, we're seeing the RSI is now, having at least a higher low compared to, the previous one that it was having. So that's still too early at this point. Another thing that I would like to see here with the RSI is to see this whole resistance being broken, because you can see that RSI was struggling, at least on the 4-hourly time frame, to break through. I think this would be around the 55 mark. So let's see if we can break 60. Then at the same time, if we're also happening to break this resistance of the channel, this is a good confirmation, in my humble opinion, that the downtrend here may be done for Supra. Next on the list, we have got QUBIC, which is also another fantastic project. I would consider it to be a new project, honestly speaking, because it launched last year in May. And so far, so good. We are looking at a structure which is very usual in this market. Again, because it's a new project, it has got a higher chance of performing much better than old projects, because the tech is different. People are also just generally interested in new things. And I'm looking at the community here. Things are looking safe for this project. It has a future, especially with AI. I think today's news of that DeepSeek thing shouldn't actually have been fired for AI projects like QUBIC, because that just goes on to show you that, like, having big money doesn't always mean you will deliver the best project. But for some reason, I don't know, the market understood it very much wrongly. In my opinion, I saw that news, and that was like the validation that I needed for every AI project that is out there, that it will do well. Anyway, let me not run my mouth too much. Let me get back to the structure that we have here, because I consider this to be a rally, then a crash, a retrace. Now we're looking for some kind of reaccumulation. Now, because we're in a bull cycle, I don't expect this accumulation to take long. I would say probably latest February, towards the end of February, we would see something like rising out of this. And we usually have got a specific price target that we target when we've had a structure like this. And this is the Fibonacci golden ratio. So you grab your Fibonacci retracement 2 from the very top of the structure until the bottom, and you're targeting exactly the 1.618 Fibonacci extension level. Now, from where the price is sitting right now, this would result in something like a 500% or something like that. That's just a 5x. But is this the only thing that QUBIC can do? Definitely not. Long term, I think that we can even go to the full Fibonacci extension level. Now, we are talking about a 14x, which is something that I consider to be decent. Yeah, some people may have bigger price targets. I really don't know about that, but I'm talking for myself. So I'll be happy with something like, a 15x from where the price is sitting right now. But just as I also mentioned in my last update, that, yeah, with Wyckoff accumulation patterns like we are seeing on QUBIC right now, usually we would consider this support to be this top section. Of late, market makers have also dropped the support level here. So I really wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit more of downward price action for QUBIC. Let's just go ahead and try to say we have maybe a 22%, a 25% drop. I don't think this is really something that is important, in the sense that I'm looking at the bigger picture here and I can get a 15x. So what really does it mean for me to lose 25% more? Again, really nothing too crazy, right? So short term, we're still trading in this channel that you can see. And I think the same thing also applies that I was talking about with Supra, that we want to be checking out the RSI and try to see that, do we have any early indications like bullish divergences and stuff like that? For now, we don't have anything like that. And I think QUBIC is just going along with the rest of the market, following the news. Again, the DeepSeek, we also have got the Fed meeting, just as I said. So expect volatility in the coming few days. And if the price drops, let me just try to quote the price in dollars, which is 0. Oh my god, this is too much. There are so many zeros by there, but I would say maybe a low towards something like 1.8 or 1.9 there is still something that is very much acceptable for me. I am very much convinced that we'll recover very soon. So finally, I want to be talking about Quant QNT, which I think is looking very bullish at this point. A lot of people don't know the full version of the Quant price chart, and you can see it dating back as far as August 2018. For me, it's very much clear that we have got wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4. So there's one missing wave here, and usually that wave should be towards the upside. So that's number one reason I'm bullish on this thing. Secondly, I'm also looking at it, maybe should I go back to the 1 daily time frame? I see a very clear Wyckoff accumulation pattern here. Nobody can convince me otherwise. This is textbook. And with structures like these ones, you usually expect to hit your first Fibonacci golden ratio. So this is right around something like $650. I'll just round it up a little bit to $700 as, like, I would say an okay bull run for Quant. But then again, my bullish price targets goes right around $1,000, maybe $1,200 thereabout. But I think for me, $1,000 is still something that is okay. Yeah, for this week, again, the volatility is going to be too much. It's very much difficult to try and see what happens immediate short term. I'm not really actively trading Quant. QNT, I'm just holding it, and we will see if we get that $700 or $1,000 or not. But in my humble opinion, I think it's something that is very much textbook here, at least according to the work of accumulation pattern, and also considering the all-time price action of Quant. There seems to be a missing wave, and that fifth wave usually is an impulse wave towards the upside. I want to thank you so much for watching the video. If you could, please delicately tap the like button, share the video with your friends and family, and then I'll see you on the next one. If you want to be trading these altcoins with me and some other guys in our private Discord, feel free to join the group via Patreon. The link will be down there in the description. It's a one-time payment for the next 12 months, and I think it's a fantastic deal. So see you on the next one. Take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.